Let us begin by understanding what the law of assumption truly is. Many of you may think of it as some mystical force, separate from your daily life. But I tell you now, the law of assumption is not separate from you, it is you. It is the very essence of your being, the creative power that shapes your entire reality. Imagine, if you will, that your current reality is like a garment you wear. It may feel comfortable, familiar, even inevitable. But I assure you it is no more permanent or real than the clothes on your back. You can change it, just as easily as you change your attire. The secret lies in your assumption. Now you might be wondering, Neville, how can I ignore reality? Isn't that just denial? And therein lies the crux of our discussion today. You see, what you call reality is not fixed or absolute. It is a reflection, a shadow cast by your assumptions. When you change your assumptions, you change the very fabric of your reality. This is where the concept of ignoring reality comes into play. But let me be clear, we are not talking about burying your head in the sand or denying the existence of your current circumstances. Rather, we are talking about shifting your attention, your belief, your assumption to that which you desire to be true. Let us delve deeper into this concept. Your world, your experience of life is not happening to you, it is happening from you. Every circumstance, every event, every interaction in your life is a reflection of your inner assumptions. These assumptions are like seeds planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. And just as a seed grows into a plant, your assumptions grow into your experienced reality. This is why many people find themselves stuck in patterns of lack, of struggle, of not enoughness. They have unknowingly been planting these seeds in their subconscious mind through years of repetitive thoughts and feelings of limitation. But here's the liberating truth. You have the power to choose what seeds you plant. You have the ability to consciously assume the state of being super rich, regardless of your current bank balance. This, my friends, is the key to ignoring reality and becoming super rich through the law of assumption. So how do we begin this process of assuming a new state of wealth and abundance? The first step is to clearly define what being super rich means to you. Be specific. Don't simply say, I want a lot of money. Instead, imagine in vivid detail what your life looks like as a super rich person. How do you feel? What are you doing? How do you spend your time? The more specific and detailed your vision, the more clearly you communicate with your subconscious mind. Once you have this clear vision, the next step is to assume the feeling of being super rich. This is crucial. You must feel the reality of being wealthy now, not in some distant future. Remember, your subconscious mind doesn't understand time. It only understands the present moment. So if you constantly feel that wealth is something in the future, it will always remain in the future. Instead, assume the feeling of wealth now. How would you feel if you were already super rich? Would you feel secure, confident, generous, free? Embody these feelings. Live from this state of being. This is not pretending or lying to yourself. This is assuming a new state of consciousness, which is the very essence of the law of assumption. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Neville, how can I feel wealthy when my bank account is empty? This is where the art of ignoring reality comes into play. You must learn to give more attention, more importance, more reality to your desired state than to your current circumstances. This doesn't mean you deny the existence of your current bank balance. Rather, you acknowledge it briefly, then immediately return your attention to the feeling of wealth. You say to yourself, yes, this is my current situation, but it is not my permanent reality. I am now embodying the state of a wealthy person. I am now feeling the feelings of abundance and financial freedom. This process of assuming a new state while ignoring the contradictory evidence of your senses is not always easy. It requires practice, persistence, and most importantly, faith. But remember, the reality you see around you is nothing more than the outpicturing of past assumptions. As you persist in your new assumption of wealth, your outer world must reshape itself to match this new inner conviction. Let us now explore the practical application of this principle. How do you maintain the assumption of wealth in your daily life? It begins with your thoughts and your inner conversations. Pay attention to how you think and talk about money. Do you constantly worry about bills? Do you feel anxiety when you think about your finances? These thoughts and feelings are assumptions of lack, and they will perpetuate a reality of financial struggle. Instead, consciously choose thoughts and inner conversations that align with your assumption of wealth. When a bill arrives, instead of feeling stress, feel gratitude for the ability to pay it easily. When you make a purchase, instead of worrying about the cost, feel the joy of being able to afford what you desire. These may seem like small shifts, but they are powerful assumptions that will begin to reshape your financial reality. Your words, too, are crucial in this process. The words you speak are like seeds planted in the fertile soil of the universe. Be mindful of the language you use around money. Eliminate phrases like "I can't afford it" or "money doesn't grow on trees." Instead, use empowering statements like "I always have more than enough" or "money comes to me easily and frequently." Remember, these are not mere affirmations or positive thinking techniques. They are assumption states of being that you are choosing to embody. Speak them with conviction, feeling the truth of them in your very being. Now let us address a crucial aspect of becoming super rich through the law of assumption, your self-concept. Your self-concept is the sum total of all your beliefs about who you are. And this self-concept is perhaps the most powerful assumption you hold. Many people struggle to manifest wealth because their self-concept contradicts the state of being wealthy. They may visualize having money, but deep down, they don't believe they are the kind of person who can be rich. They may have limiting beliefs like rich people are greedy, or money is the root of all evil, or I'm not smart enough to be wealthy. To truly embody the state of being super rich, you must be willing to revise your self-concept. You must be willing to see yourself as someone who is naturally wealthy, who easily attracts abundance, who deserves financial success. This is not about creating a false image of yourself, but about recognizing and embracing your true, limitless nature. You see, at your core, you are pure consciousness. You are not defined by your past experiences, your current bank balance, or the opinions of others about wealth. You are the awareness in which all these things appear. And this awareness, your true self, is infinite in its potential, including its potential for wealth. When you truly grasp this truth, when you begin to identify with your essential nature, rather than your temporary financial circumstances, you open yourself to limitless abundance. Your subconscious mind, no longer constrained by limiting beliefs about wealth, becomes free to manifest the financial reality you choose to assume. So how do you revise your self-concept to align with being super rich? The process is similar to assuming any new state of being. You must vividly imagine yourself as a wealthy person. Feel what it's like to be that person. How do they think about money? How do they make financial decisions? How do they carry themselves? But remember, this is not about creating a caricature of a rich person based on societal stereotypes. It's about recognizing and embracing your own unique expression of wealth. You are not becoming someone else. You are becoming more fully yourself, a self that is naturally abundant and financially free. As you persistently imagine and feel yourself as this wealthy version of you, your subconscious mind will begin to accept this as your new reality. And as your subconscious accepts it, you will naturally begin to think, feel, and act in alignment with this new wealthy self-concept. Now let us address another powerful tool in assuming the state of being super rich, the use of I am statements. The words I am are incredibly potent. They are in essence your definition of yourself. Whatever follows I am is impressed upon your subconscious mind as a truth about your identity. Many people unconsciously use I am statements in ways that perpetuate financial lack. I am broke. I am bad with money. I am always in debt. Each time you make such a statement, you are programming your subconscious mind to create more of that experience. To assume the state of being super rich, you must become acutely aware of your I am statements and consciously choose ones that align with wealth and abundance. I am wealthy. I am a money magnet. I am financially free. I am abundantly provided for in all ways. But remember, it's not just about the words. You must feel the truth of these statements as you say them. Your subconscious mind responds to feeling, not just to words. So when you say, I am wealthy, feel the security, the freedom, the joy of being wealthy. When you say, I am a money magnet, feel the excitement of money constantly flowing into your life. As you consistently use I am statements in this way, you are literally reprogramming your subconscious mind. You are impressing upon it a new concept of who you are in relation to wealth, and your subconscious mind will work tirelessly to make this new self-concept your reality. Now let us explore another powerful technique for assuming the state of being super rich, the practice of living in the end. This involves mentally dwelling in the state of your wish fulfilled, living as if you are already super rich. To practice living in the end, you must create a mental scene that implies the fulfillment of your desire for wealth. This scene should be one that would naturally occur if you were already super rich. Perhaps it's the feeling of making a large donation to a cause you care about, or the joy of buying your dream home without concern for the cost, or the satisfaction of seeing a large balance in your bank account. Create this scene in your imagination with as much detail as possible. See it clearly. Hear the sounds associated with it. Feel the emotions you would feel. Then enter into this scene in your imagination. Don't just watch it as a spectator, but experience it from the first-person perspective. Be there in that moment, feeling the reality of being super rich. Now here's the crucial part. You must return to this scene repeatedly. Dwell in it. Make it more real to you than your current financial circumstances. The more you live in this imaginal scene, the more real it becomes to your subconscious mind. And remember, your subconscious doesn't distinguish between what you vividly imagine and what you physically experience. As you persist in living in the end, you may notice changes in your outer world. Opportunities for financial growth may appear. Your relationship with money may begin to shift. You may find yourself making different financial decisions. These are all signs that your new assumption is taking root, reshaping your reality to match your inner conviction of wealth. But here's a word of caution. Do not look for signs. Do not try to figure out how your assumption of wealth will manifest. Your job is simply to assume the state of being wealthy, to live from that state in your imagination. The how, the when, the where of its manifestation is not your concern. That belongs to the infinite intelligence of the universe. Now let us address a crucial aspect of assuming the state of being super rich, the role of action. Some people mistakenly believe that the law of assumption means they can simply imagine being wealthy and then sit back and wait for money to magically appear. This is not the case. The law of assumption does not negate action, it informs action. When you truly assume the state of being wealthy, you will naturally be inspired to take actions that align with that state. You may feel compelled to start a business, to invest in certain opportunities, to learn about wealth management. These inspired actions flow naturally from your assumed state. The key difference is that these actions are not driven by fear, lack, or the need to make money. They are expressions of your assumed state of wealth. You take these actions not to become rich, but because you are operating from the assumption that you are already rich. This is a subtle but crucial distinction when you take action from a place of lack. Trying to get money, you are actually affirming the assumption of not having enough. But when you take action from the assumption of already being wealthy, you open yourself to infinite possibilities for the expression and expansion of that wealth. So do not neglect action, but ensure that your actions are aligned with and flowing from your assumed state of wealth. Let your assumption guide your actions rather than hoping your actions will create the assumption. Now let us discuss the importance of gratitude in assuming the state of being super rich. Gratitude is not just a pleasant emotion, it is a powerful creative force. When you feel grateful, you are affirming that you already have what you desire. This aligns perfectly with the law of assumption. Begin to cultivate an attitude of gratitude for wealth and abundance, even before you see it manifested in your physical reality. Be thankful for the money you currently have, no matter how little it may seem. Be grateful for every opportunity to receive or spend money. Feel appreciation for the abundance that surrounds you in all forms, the air you breathe, the sun that shines, the food you eat. As you practice gratitude, you are assuming the state of someone who has plenty, someone who is abundantly provided for. This assumption, persistently held, must manifest in your outer world as increased financial abundance. Remember, the feeling of gratitude and the feeling of lack cannot coexist. By cultivating gratitude, you are effectively ignoring the abundance of financial and assuming the state of wealth and abundance. Now let us address a common challenge in assuming the state of being super rich, dealing with contradictory evidence. As you begin to assume the state of wealth, you may find that your current financial circumstances seem to contradict your assumption. Bills may still need to be paid. Financial pressures may still exist. How do you maintain your assumption in the face of these seeming contradictions? This is where the art of ignoring reality comes into play. Remember, what you see in your outer world is the result of past assumptions. It's like an echo of what you once believed. Your task now is to give more attention, more importance, more reality to your new assumption of wealth than to these outdated circumstances. When contradictory evidence appears, acknowledge it briefly, then immediately return your attention to your assumption of wealth. Say to yourself, this is old condition passing away. It has no power over my new assumption. I am now super rich, abundantly provided for in all ways. This practice requires mental discipline. It requires you to stand firm in your new assumption, even when your senses argue against it. But remember, your senses only show you what has been, not what can be. Your imagination, informed by your assumption, shows you what will be. As you persist in your assumption of wealth, even in the face of contradictory evidence, you'll begin to see changes in your outer world. These changes may start small, an unexpected refund, a good deal on something you need, a new opportunity to increase your income. Do not dismiss these as coincidences. They are the first fruits of your new assumption taking root. Now let us explore the concept of detachment in relation to becoming super rich through the law of assumption. Detachment does not mean you don't care about becoming wealthy. Rather, it means you are not anxiously attached to the outcome or the process of becoming wealthy. When you are detached, you are secure in your assumption of wealth. You don't need constant outer confirmation because you know the truth of your assumption. You don't anxiously look for signs or try to force manifestations because you trust in the perfect unfolding of your assumption. Detachment allows you to enjoy the journey of wealth creation without stress or worry. It enables you to take inspired action without being desperate for results. It frees you from the fear of loss because you know that your true wealth comes from your consciousness, not from external circumstances. Practice detachment by reminding yourself that your assumption of wealth is the reality, regardless of what your current bank balance might show. Trust that as you maintain your assumption, your outer world must conform to it. Be at peace, knowing that your financial abundance is assured by the power of your assumption. Now let us address the role of persistence in assuming the state of being super rich. Assuming a new state, especially one that seems far from your current experience, requires persistent effort. You must be willing to persist in your new assumption, even when the outer world seems unchanged, even when doubts arise, even when others question your sanity. Remember, the reality you see around you is the fruit of seeds planted in the past. As you assume the state of being super rich, you are planting new seeds. These seeds need time to grow. Your persistence in maintaining your assumption is what waters these seeds and allows them to flourish. Do not be discouraged if you don't see immediate results. Do not waver in your assumption if your financial situation doesn't change overnight. Persistence is key. Return again and again to your assumption of wealth. Live from that state consistently, persistently, faithfully. It's also important to persist through the doubts and fears that may arise. As you assume a state of wealth that is vastly different from your current experience, your old beliefs and fears may surface. This is natural. Acknowledge these doubts when they arise, but do not give them power. Instead, gently but firmly return to your assumption of wealth. Now, let us discuss the importance of feeling in assuming the state of being super rich. Feeling is the secret of creation. It's not enough to intellectually know that you are assuming a state of wealth. You must feel it. You must experience the emotion of being wealthy. What does wealth feel like to you? Is it a feeling of security, of freedom, of power to help others, of peace of mind? Whatever it is, you must capture that feeling and live in it. Make it your constant companion. Let it inform your thoughts, your words, your actions. Remember, your subconscious mind doesn't understand words as much as it understands feelings. When you consistently feel wealthy, you are sending a powerful message to your subconscious that this is your reality. And your subconscious, being the faithful servant it is, will work tirelessly to bring about circumstances that match this feeling. As you go through your day, constantly check in with your feelings. Are you feeling wealthy? If not, pause and recall the feeling of wealth. Immerse yourself in it. Let it permeate your being. This constant return to the feeling of wealth is crucial in maintaining your assumption. Now let us address a common pitfall in the journey of assuming wealth: the temptation to compare yourself with others. In today's world, with social media constantly showcasing the wealth and success of others, it's easy to fall into the trap of comparison. But remember, comparison is the thief of joy, and more importantly, it can undermine your assumption of wealth. When you compare yourself to others, you are implicitly assuming a state of lack. You are focusing on what you don't have rather than on the abundance you are assuming. This sends a conflicting message to your subconscious mind and can slow down or even reverse your progress. Instead of comparing yourself to others, focus on your own journey. Celebrate your own progress, no matter how small it may seem. Remember, you are not in competition with anyone else. Your journey to wealth is unique to you. Trust in your own assumption and in the perfect unfolding of your desires. As we near the conclusion of our discussion, let us talk about the ultimate purpose of assuming the state of being super rich. While financial abundance is certainly enjoyable and can provide many opportunities, the true power of this practice lies in the freedom it provides. Freedom to be more fully yourself, to express your gifts, to contribute to the world in meaningful ways. As you assume the state of being super rich, you may find that your definition of wealth expands. You may discover that true wealth encompasses not just financial abundance, but also richness in relationships, in experiences, in personal growth, in the ability to make a positive impact on the world. Embrace this expanded definition of wealth. Let your assumption of being super rich infuse all areas of your life with abundance. Assume a state of richness in love, in health, in wisdom, in joy. For in doing so, you are assuming the state of your highest, most abundant self. In closing, my dear friends, remember this: you are not bound by your current financial reality. You are not limited by your past experiences with money. You are a divine, infinite being capable of assuming any state you choose. The state of being super rich is available to you right now, in this very moment. Choose it. Assume it. Live from it. Ignore the contradictory evidence of your senses and persist in your assumption. For as you do, you are reshaping your entire world. You are stepping into the full power of your divine creativity. Go forth from here with this knowledge. Apply these principles in your daily life. Be aware of your thoughts, your feelings, your assumptions about wealth. Use your imagination consciously and deliberately to live in the end of being super rich. Persist in your assumption, even when the outer world seems to contradict it. And above all, have faith. Faith in the law, faith in the process, faith in your own divine nature as a creative being. For as you master the art of assumption, as you learn to ignore the limiting aspects of your current reality, you step into your true power as the author of your life story. Remember, the power to change your financial reality lies within you. It always has. You are not bound by economic conditions, by your background, or by your current bank balance. You are bound only by the limits of your imagination and your willingness to assume the state of being super rich. Embrace this truth. Live from this understanding. And watch as your world transforms around you, reflecting the newfound abundance you have assumed into being. Thank you, and may your journey of conscious creation be filled with infinite abundance, joy, and the thrill of manifesting your wealthiest, most expansive self.